Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking into something pretty fascinating. South Korea's massive beauty industry.
Yeah, it's huge. It's known globally, especially as a sort of capital for cosmetic surgery.
Exactly. And we've been digging into some reports about how it got there, the kinds of cutting-edge treatments they offer, things like microneedling, stem cell therapy.
Right, and those non-invasive lifting techniques that are really popular now.
It's become this major destination. The numbers are pretty staggering, aren't they? Since about 2009, when they really started promoting medical tourism.
Oh, absolutely. The growth's been explosive. 2023, it was over 600,000 foreign patients.
Wow.
600,000.
And get this, more than half were there specifically for aesthetic procedures, cosmetic stuff.
So not just general medical care, but really focused on beauty enhancements.
Precisely. And the epicenter, as you probably know, is Gangnam in Seoul.
Yes, Gangnam. It's almost like a brand in itself. Our sources call it a glitzy medical hub.
That's a good way to put it. Imagine an area maybe the size of Manhattan.
But crammed with over 600 plastic surgery clinics. And then add like 1,000 dermatology centers on top of that.
That concentration is just mind-boggling. So why are people flocking there?
So you've got the world-renowned K-beauty techniques, obviously.
Right, that whole brand.
Plus a reputation for really detailed, meticulous care.
Huh.
And the innovative tech they use.
And the cost factor. Is it just cheaper?
It often is, yeah, compared to the US or Europe. But it's not just about being cheap. It's the combination perceived high quality, advanced procedures, and more affordable prices. It's a compelling package.
Makes sense. And it sounds like it's quite a curated experience, too, not just showing up at a clinic.
Definitely. Agencies like Seoul Guide Medical, for example, they manage the whole thing.
Like a concierge service.
Sort of, yeah. From the first online consultation, booking appointments, travel, accommodation, even post-treatment support. They smooth out the whole process.
And the treatments themselves. We're talking things like ultrasound lifting, salmon DNA injections. Sounds pretty futuristic.
It does, doesn't it? And often delivered in these very plush, almost spa-like clinic environments. It adds to the appeal.
Okay, so this industry is clearly a huge success story for South Korea on the global stage.
Undeniably. But there's a flip side. This success seems to be casting a shadow on their domestic healthcare system.
Ah, right. Our sources point to this growing tension, this concern about shortages in really essential fields.
Exactly. Things like pediatrics, emergency medicine, internal medicine, the basic stuff. There just aren't enough doctors going into those areas.
Why is that? Is it purely financial?
That seems to be a major driver. We're seeing younger doctors, even specialists like dermatologists, choosing these lucrative cosmetic paths instead of, say, working in understaffed public hospitals.
It's like a brain drain within the country towards the more profitable sector. And there was that statistic, something about new clinics opening.
Yeah, quite telling. Of the, I think it was 129 new clinics opened by mid-2024, something like 80% were focused on dermatology and aesthetics.
80%. That really shows the skew.
It does. And it's not just about resource allocation. There's a darker side emerging too.
What's that?
The issue of ghost doctors. It sounds sinister, and frankly, it is.
Ghost doctors. You mean unlicensed people performing surgery?
That's essentially it. Sometimes the qualified doctor consults, but then an unlicensed person steps in for the actual procedure, often without the patient knowing.
That's incredibly dangerous.
And it's led to a reported increase in injuries, complications, even deaths. It raises serious questions about regulation and patient safety in such a fast-growing market.
So we have this booming, world-leading beauty industry on one hand.
And a potential crisis in basic healthcare provision on the other. It's a real dilemma.
Can South Korea actually balance these two? Can it keep its global beauty crown while making sure its own citizens get the fundamental medical care they need?
That's the core question, isn't it? The government's talking big numbers, pledging around $20 billion for healthcare reform, better monitoring.
But will that be enough to shift the incentives and fix the underlying structural issues?
It remains to be seen. It's a tough balancing act.
So the final thought for you listening is maybe this. What happens long term when one part of a nation's healthcare system becomes so incredibly specialized and globally focused, potentially at the expense of broader essential care? It's something worth mulling over.